Hi, hello, my name is Abbie, and today we are doing Monster High Part 3! So, it's been a while, but this is going to be a big video. I'm really excited. I've been working on this for like months at this point. A lot of stuff came out, and I'll talk about it in future videos. But hi, we are doing Monster High. For this third set, I decided to choose the characters that really were coming out at the similar time, which is the time where I started to consume Monster High. At least two of these characters are really important to me. But let's start with Abbie Bominable. So, Abbie is the daughter of the Yeti, or Abominable Snowman, which is where her name comes from. And I decided to work with that and incorporate hair a lot in her design, which I think is always a bit lacking. This was all inspired by my friend Optree, by the way. They were like, you are a coward if you don't give her a beard, and I was like, got it, I will. By the way, if this is controversial at any point, just know that cis women have hair all the time, and it's not a bad thing, it's not ugly, whatever deal, go read a book. So, for the original designs I made a couple ones. I am trying to start like doing designs a lot more as an industry standard, because that's where I want to go in. So for the first one that I did is the redesign that I did for the new version of Abbie, which I actually fucking love. I have the doll. I think she is fucking adorable. I think she's one of the best ones that they've made in this third gen. So this is what inspired her completely. For the second one, I decided to go a bit more like almost give no shit in school. Like, you know, that one like really cool alt girl that everybody's intimidating by, but like actually everybody's like fucking in love with. Anyway, anyone queer is. So that's what I was trying to go for, and I really like this design. The third one is the one I ended up going with. So I decided to give her a long hair like ponytail and a like wool shirt and like fur accents, and like I don't know, I really like it. I think it represents her well. It makes her like really feminine the way that she is in her presentation, but still a bit intimidating as she should be. After that, I went full on Chad, muscle queen, and yeah, I like it as like an alternative costume for her, but I don't know, it wasn't the best. And then the last one, which I thought was really fucking cute, was just like inspired by fur and by super woolly materials, and yeah. So then this time I decided to refine my favorite one into like the two final choices basically, and so I had I refined them. I really like the second one. I really like the skirt in particular, but I think that the first one was just like my favorite. I went into the color scheme. There is a lot. I did a lot of work for this, guys. So the color schemes, I started with a really light skin with like purple and pink accents, which I liked, but I thought that the skin was way too light. And so then I tried a more brighter color scheme in general, which looked like shit. I wanted to then a more desaturated skin with brighter, more saturated accent colors. I decided to go full on teal, like just to try it out. And then the last two are the ones that like I struck gold. I went with the slightly darker, more saturated skin color, but still like in the pastel elements, and that let me give a lot of like almost iridescent shine to it. And the one I took was the last design, and so you can see here I've been drawing for a little bit. I've been like showing the process, but she was really fun to draw. I think it's incredible. I know like I'm just like on the art journey, but I think it's really impressive to see that like my complete switch to Clip Studio Paint, and after Mermaid specifically, really like changed my art style a lot. Especially at the end, I am now like obsessed with doing like bright white accents to like give shine of last second. I don't know, I think June from Jinjin WO used to do it, and I thought that his art style was like the best for like ever. I fucking love their channel. You can go, I'm gonna try to link them in the description. Sorry for always linking artists that I like, by the way. It's just like, I don't know, I think that's the way to consume and show respect to art. You are inspired, like all art that you consume is just like content that you munch on, and then you end up sharing and incorporating into your art. And yeah, the shines are really fun. The iridescent part was everything to me. I don't use it as much anymore, like compared to when I first draw this. But when I was producing this picture, I was fucking obsessed with the color changing brush that I found on Clip Studio, and you can see I went off on it, especially in like the shading, and like I really like the like slightly different tone that it gives to art, and like the slight variability. It's like the slight you're not prepared for it makes it like especially vibrant and unique. So this is the final Abbey. I'm really proud of her. I think she fits right in with all my other designs, and I couldn't be happier with her. And let's go on with Venus! Venus was my favorite fucking Monster High character as a kid. I think her punk aesthetics, she's so cool, she's like a rebel, but she's nice. I don't know, I'm fucking obsessed with her. For her, I decided specifically to go into solar punk type of outfits. So I'll talk about it a bit later, but I like a lot of the wave 1 had very specific style of clothing they were inspired by, and I followed that. And then with wave, that's technically wave 2 or 3, it became a bit more muddled, and that makes sense. They just released a lot more throughout the year, so it makes sense that like the initial concept like gets lost a bit. But I decided to like refine one and try to stick with it. And for her, I did solar punk. The first design I did is like basically her Gen 1 design because it's everything to me. I really like it. The second one I tried to do a very solar punk like plastic outfit that is inspired by stuff I've seen online with a big shawl, and I like it, but like once again as like a different outfit. I really am obsessed with the hair though. I think it looks so cute on her. The third one is the one I ended up going with, and I was obsessed with the maxi skirt that she had on and the like broken up shawl. It's super different from her original design, but I think it fits with her really well, especially what I did with it. You'll see. The fourth one is inspired by the original design, but I decided to like, what if I were to design it the same way? And I liked it, but not. And then the fifth one is the one I almost went with. It was like tied with number 3. I really like the belly accent. I really like the pants. I'm obsessed with those shapes of pants, and I think it would look really good. I just don't think it fit with Monster High that much, and so I didn't go with it. Then I did these 2 designs. So I refined both designs that I had in mind. Looking back at it after a couple of weeks, the long hair rune design be a lot for me, but I just like fell in love with design. Hey, I think like especially her face, her lack of eyebrows, and then her really pointy mouth, it just fits with her so well, and she looks nice but like in an intimidating way in a bit. I don't know, I really like her. Then I did one thing that I should have done earlier though, but I decided to do some hair research with her. I wanted her to be punk, and especially after leaks of Gen 3 came out where she has locks and she's like coded as being a black character, it was like, that's such a good idea. It fits really well with her. Let me see if like, let me just try out different hairstyles and see which one like ends up being my favorite. There's the flower crown that I did was A. Then I went with like viney hair, which is like locks but like stiff. I decided to go with micro braids, and the mix like Gen 3, which is like a mix of straight or like wavy hair and like braids throughout. I don't think that's what it is anymore. I think I've seen like actual pictures of Gen 3 Venus, and she just has locks, which I think is so cute. I decided to try twin tails of like micro braids because of another doll I found actually from the Shadow High series. I have her too. Guys, so much happened since last time. I've become a like low-key doll collector. Don't ask questions about it. I'm a bit embarrassed, but whatever. But one of the characters that I have had this hairstyle and it's so pretty, so I tried it out. I tried it with half updo with like clasps in it to try to see if it could work. I did a mohawk because I don't know, it fits her character really well, especially with like her alternative outfit, so I tried it out. I tried like regular locks, which I did with a paintbrush to have like a better idea of like, I don't know, I think it's just like easier to like conceptualize that way. And then butterfly locks, which I almost went with because they're so pretty, but at the end of the day I think they would fit another character probably better down the line. And I finished with bangs because this is inspired by Madeline Pendleton from TikTok, if you've seen them about. She's the owner of Tunnel Vision, and they are like a communist and stuff, and they're interesting. But like, I was thinking of like, what's the most like punk communist person I know that I could get inspired, and I was like, I'm gonna try this hair, and overall I don't think it fits super well on Venus. But after doing that research, I have this final draft, which has the lock hair, and I fell in love with it. And I also refined the mouth. And so I did the color schemes. Venus had a lot of work gone into her, and that's one of the reasons why it took so long, is because I really wanted to do Venus justice. So sorry. The first one is like olive tone. It's more inspired by her original color palette, although without black, and it's inspired too by like the actual Venus flytrap colors. I really like the bottom of the skirt, but that's like about it, unfortunately. The second one is inspired by also her original design. I tried to give her some face marking, which I think looks so fucking cute, but unfortunately didn't make it into the final design. I tried to make up inspired by Vivienne Westwood, and it stayed for the rest of the designs, you'll see. Bright pink, bright green, and then a jeans, like washed up jeans for the shawl, and then her original motif in the cape. I really like this design, actually. It's like my top 2. Then the next one, I decided to try something completely different, give her a pink skin reminiscent of the pink Venus flytrap, because they exist. And with green accents. I really like what I did with the skirt, but at the end of the day, I wasn't super fan of how it looked, especially like from afar. It looks a bit muddy. Then I went with the like trad goth style of makeup, which I really like. Yeah, I really like it. I just didn't go with this design. Although, again, I just don't think the skin and the hair color fit super well, but I think that like the skirt and shawl design are like insanely good. I really like the colors. I'll have to reuse them for something else at some point. And then the final one, which is the one I went with, I decided to, instead of giving like different locks with different colors, I decided to do a gradient directly into locks. A darker color for her main outfit with another gradient for the cape. And then to decorate the skirt, I was like, what if I just put a ton of patches? Because she's punk! So the concept was that it was places she traveled, bands she saw, which at the end of the day, I didn't put that many bands just because like I don't have that many reference to like bands I could put in the Monster High universe at the end of the day. But it was both of adding your personal touch to your clothing, which I know a lot of people who subscribe to punk ideologies really like, but also the fact that like if there's a hole in her skirt or there's a problem or whatever, she just patches it up because resourcefulness and not wasting anything. And this is the one I went with. I am obsessed with it, and here is like, you've seen it, but here's more towards the final product. I love the texture I gave the skin. It's like matte with some shiny like shinies, more than like human skin, which gives her more of a like plant base. And the hair was so fun to do. I really liked it. I don't know, I'm really obsessed with this design. It took so long because of all of the patches, but like it was so worth it. I have like this, I have so many, like you can try to find all of the little references. I tried to make at least a reference for every movie that Monster High originally produced. And I have the September 23rd Strike for the Earth. I have a patch for all of our friends, if you can like find a couple of them. All of the designs I've already made have like been there's a little like, ooh, what is this on it, so you can try to find all of them. A couple of locations that are canon. I have it's a Ghostface reference, but it's also a reference for a character I want to do in the next batch probably, so I'm not saying anything else. I also have a Verican Von Vamp Huntley Wood sign because I think that's like cute. And believe it or not, but we are here. And the final design, which is the hardest one, that gave me the most trouble. Spectra's original design is very muddled in my opinion. I love Spectra vondergeist. She was definitely one of my favorite characters too as a kid. But as an adult, I can tell that I really liked her face and her hair a lot. I didn't love her outfit at all. I think that it's too contemporary for the type of characters that she is, like, intrinsically. So I decided to try, like, she's a ghost. Find, like, an era that she's in and, like, go for it. So I started with the Victorian era, which, of course, is, like, the best. And I tried to give her two different types of nightgowns. The first one is more of a classic, like, Victorian nightgown, but, like, modernized, if you will. And because she is a reporter, you know, classic reporter, I decided to give her like an actual notebook and a feather because I think that's really fucking funny. Then I tried with I did some research for that outfit, and it's a lot more inspired by specifically German nightgowns from the era, especially the hair. because her name is Spectra vondergeist, and Wonder is generally German from my research. I hope I'm right. So I tried that, and you'll see later I kept a lot of the elements from this design. Actually, none of these design looks like what I ended up doing, which is fucking funny. Also for the Victorian, sorry, I forgot to say the hair, because it is the hair I ended up going with. It's very inspired by the original music video for Monster High. That's a fun tidbit. Then I tried the 1860s, which have more of a like cinched waist, big balloon design. It's also inspired by German fashion, and I went with a more like updo and a side eye. It's actually kind of the pose I went with. Then I tried the early 1920s, which I think is super cute. It's inspired by her Gen 3 design again, with the hair and stuff, but I don't love it. And the last one was just like the 1980s. I was being silly. It's inspired by Heathers, so the ghost in Heathers of Heather Chandler. Sorry, I need to be like a nerd. So these are the two designs I decided to go with. So the first one is inspired by the third design completely, with the blown out hair, and I switched it to a phone because I think it's silly. And then the second one is the one I ended up going with because after talking with my friends about it and showing it, the integration of the chains, which is really important to Spectra's lore, with the added on of the hair and then the outfit that's like not super dimensional of an era, is more like Spectra. And then I did the color schemes. There's a lot less for this one, as you can see, because I had a better idea immediately. The first one I decided to give her light hair and like purple outfit with blue accents. She has easy color scheme to like pick out compared to the others. Then the second one that I did was with a darker hair color, and I decided to give her an half face inspired by Gottmik. Sorry, I keep talking about the inspiration that I have, but it's really important to me to like share where it comes from. And again, art is something, everything you ingest and that you like spit out. And so Gottmik on her season of Drag Race had a makeover on Candy Muse in which she did like this half face, and I was obsessed with it. And then I was like, what if I just put Gottmik's face on Spectra? So that's basically what I did. And this is the design I decided to end up going with, because I don't know, she is the most streamlined, she looks the best, she looks the most like Spectra to me. And the black lipstick, black eye makes her look menacing in a really fun way. But I still tried something else that has a lot more white in the design, more inspired by the original color palette, although the hair is white too. And I liked it, but number 3 was definitely my favorite. And then I did it. She was like the hardest one to figure out a design that I really liked, but she ended up being like a really easy one to do. I played a lot with transparency, especially the transparency gradients on Clip Studio. They're really fun to use. A lot of like tiny details, a lot of like shading, inspired by Gottmik, inspired by a lot of like influences I have. I don't know, I really like this design. I'm really happy with it. I don't have much more to say. It was really fun to do. And so here are the 3 drawings I made. Here's a little montage. So thank you so much for coming around. I hope you liked it. I really like this series. I think that drawing Monster High is like super fun. I already have ideas for the next one, but I'll talk to you in the next video a bit about what's been going on with me, why I'm posting less, and it goes with mental health stuff and trying to find work in an industry that's currently oversaturated and that's probably going on strike next year. And no, it doesn't make me scared at all for my future. That being said, again, I'll talk about it in the next video, and I'll try to do a new intro for my channel soon too. It's in my plans. I hope you liked it. If you've gotten here, please like and subscribe. I know it's corny, but like that's what YouTubers do, I guess. I am super happy that I'm able to do this as a hobby. It's been so fun. I thank you a lot for coming. You can find my social medias all around the screen, including my new art station that's going to be in the description. And I'll see you in the future. See ya.